Hello, I'm Dr. Alan Badeau, and welcome to AI Today. Here we're exploring AI's extraordinary potential and its ethical challenges. Thank you for being here as we continue to look at the heart of AI, trying to help small businesses, trying to help folks use it to really enrich their everyday lives, try to give them a perspective on how they can use AI to their advantage, as well as trying to prepare them for the bad things about AI. And that is definitely one of the topics that we're going to explore this week. We're going to deep dive into, how hackers and AI are able to really become a more of a challenge and a threat to everything that we're doing, from driving cars and the potential of the power grid to our software, our emails, our bank accounts, our phones, everything. And that's one of the things that I think that is really going to help a lot of folks as they prepare to combat and take as much action as they can to protect themselves, as well as protect their identity. As someone who has had his identity stolen over 6 times from various foreign actors, as well as being caught up in a lot of these other events that are out there, it does scare me a little bit to consider the power of a traditional hacker with AI now. I am a certified ethical hacker. I've done this for many years, and my ability to use AI to do some things that it should not do is definitely dwarfed by some of the even more professionals that are out there using this every single day to really take over, whether it's a system, an email, your banking account information. And that's something that I want folks to get from our discussion, this week. We've got a really fantastic panel that we're going to be talking to, whether it's the policy that is needed to help protect us, whether it is the pure software element and the cyber threats associated with different systems and environments is another, as well as hearing from one of our guests talking about a closed system and how these air gap systems are protected from your traditional mechanisms, but you still have to worry about the insider threat. And one of the things that AI has allowed folks to do is gain access to biometric information, to gain access to passwords, to better understand, or for instance, deepfake a voice or an image. And so it's not as simple as it used to be. It used to be, don't answer the phone, don't do this, don't do that. Well, it's a lot harder now if somebody has spoofed your phone number and they are calling you and the voice on the end sounds like your significant other, your spouse, your children, your boss. Those sort of events are drivers and things that folks need to be prepared for. Now, I've talked about a lot of large language models. I've talked about a lot of other AI capabilities that are out there. And when you start to couple artificial intelligence with cybersecurity, that is one of those cross-domain unifying events where now you are scaling at a capability that is significantly beyond what a human can do by themselves. And that should worry folks significantly. Now, I don't want to scare everybody, and I'm not an alarmist when it comes to things like that. However, I am a realist, and there are demonstrated attacks on folks that have really scared a lot of the cybersecurity experts. A good example is a bank teller in Canada. I won't say the name, and of course I won't say the bank, but she was on a Zoom call with who she thought was her boss and her boss's boss and other folks that she works with. And they all had their images on there and they were all sounding exactly like that. And they told her, we want you to deposit X amount of money into this other account. And we want you, we have to expedite it. So we want you to do it, as soon as possible. And unfortunately, everybody on that Zoom call was a deep fake. And she thought to herself, though, this is really unusual. It's kind of strange. But my boss has told me to do this. My boss's boss has approved it, and she went ahead and did it. And she sent a significant amount of money to an account. And like I said, it was a deep fake. And that was an eye opener to a lot of folks, and how large language models and how AI can really be adapted at the like I always say, at the speed of now, because there are capabilities that a lot of folks don't realize these models have, and it really can impact our everyday lives. And you hear about it every single day. There's a new event that's taking place, that somebody has hacked a new system, whether it's your mortgage provider, or your cable provider, or you're going to a hotel and their data has been stolen. The biggest emails, the tranche of emails that I get, I could put in a bucket that folks are just worried about their identities being compromised, about how much data these companies are asking for now, and seem to not have the protections in place that allow them to really safeguard our information. And that's a concern to a lot of folks. And as we walk through the show this week, I want you to think about the impacts of having your data stolen, what would you do to try to protect that? Having other information compromised, whether it is a driver's license, an email, a passport. What would you do to prepare yourselves? And really, that's the best thing that I can, best advice that I can provide to folks is that, quite honestly, anytime I hear something has taken place, the first thing I do is go out and change all of my passwords in all of my accounts, whether or not I have been affected or not, because more than likely I have been. There's just so much information out there, so much that is shared, that it's very easy to have that data just be compromised. And if you assume that it's compromised, you go out and you are proactive as best as you can. That's really the best way that you can, combat those types of things. Have a couple of emails that you just routinely will change, so that you're continuously trying to stay ahead of that curve. Meaning, okay, they've got it. You assume they have it. You assume that it's for sale on the deep web or the dark web, and the best thing you can do is go out and change those, because that's going to protect you as you move forward. And the easiest way for you to mitigate those sort of situations. Do not wait until you get a free version of whatever hacked party is going to give you access to. I have lost count how many free accounts at these identity protection agencies that I have received, because quite honestly, there was a time that it seemed like it was happening about every month, from the mortgage to the cars to the whatever it was. So just keep that in mind as you go forward. So with that, I hope you enjoy this week's show. It's really going to be exciting. It's one of my fun topics that I like to talk about. I will get a little bit more involved in it as we move forward over the next few weeks, because I do think it's important for folks to realize it and embrace it. And I think you're gonna like our guest panel this week. I think you're going to gain some knowledge. You're going to understand how to better protect yourselves, and you're going to start asking a lot more questions of our leaders, as well as the business leaders that are out there, saying, why are we doing some of the things that we're doing? Stay with us, and we'll have our first guest in the next segment. And with that, we'll go to a quick commercial break.